Good morning. Hello, everyone. I'm Sandy, and I'm your host today for Facebook and YouTube at My Sewing Room. And it's always a pleasure to visit with you, especially on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays when we do our programming. So exciting. Anyways, thank you very much for joining us on either Facebook at mysewingroom.ca or on our YouTube channel. If you go to YouTube and then search mysewingroom.ca, D-O-T, and then subscribe. You can find all of our videos, all of our lives from whenever we started broadcasting, which is quite a number of years ago, because I think Anne and Leah started this back before COVID. Well, when COVID came and we couldn't be live with people, we went live on Facebook and YouTube, and it has survived to this day. So very glad to be part of it. It's been a lot of fun over the years. I've had lots of fun people as guests and as co-hosts with me. Been some memorable times. So please check out all of our videos and our lives on YouTube, and subscribe to our YouTube, and hit the notification bell that tells you when we've gone live. You can watch us live or you can watch it recorded. Anyways, it's always a pleasure to have someone join me. I like it. Anyways, thank you for all your likes, loves, when you share it with other people, or when you comment. And the comments are the most useful. Not only is it nice to say hello and everything, but it tells me what you're doing, what you're making, if there's something that we can please you to do for you. So much fun. And then I always ask silly questions as well and tell some funny jokes. So please join us Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays at 10:30 in the morning for some programming. All right, I have a few shout outs today, so I'd like to do that first this morning. So shout out to Ruth C., Glenda I., who tells me she's up at the lake in many feet of snow. We've gotten a little colder, but not much snow here. Thank you to Carol D., Pia G., Carol G., Dorothy T., Eva W., who stopped in and visited the other day, Helen O., Ann L., J.C., Tina B., Nancy C. Nancy C., congratulations on the new granddaughter. I think that is so wonderful. I hope everyone's doing well. Also shouting out to Sandy A., Michelle G., Teresa W., Vivian H., Maureen M., Joanne T., Verna T., very nice, see a new name there, Peggy N., Carol Ann M., Jean J., Mary Z., and Serge. So those are some people that have stopped by the store, have watched the show, have left comments. And my wonderful friend Ruth is on this morning. Morning, Ruth. All right, I have so much to share with you today. I have to say, Anne has been very busy, and she has given me some more show and tell. And these are so exciting. I'm glad when she does this. So I have talked about nest embroideries before, and they're a line of hand stitching that we have in the store. The little packages come complete with rings, thread, needles, fabric, everything you need to create your project. So I'm going to show you those in a minute, but I see that Glenda has come on. She says it's chilly up there, but she has a nice warm fireplace. It's blazing, so that's good. Keep warm. So we'll talk more about keeping warm in just a minute, but I want to show you Anne's show and tell. She just finished the nest embroidery called Froggy Flowers. Isn't that beautiful? It is absolutely gorgeous. All the detailed stitching, it's just amazing. The detail that goes into all the little flowers, the leaves, all of the little French knots all around it. So this is something that you can do quietly on your own, watching TV, just relaxing. So these, which I would call not crazy, creative projects where you are being quiet and producing. So this is the one she made, Froggy Flowers Embroidery Kit. This is Adventures for Beginners. Each one of them contains floss, a needle, a pre-printed pattern, fabric stitching, pattern fabric for backing, the hoop, and more. So you get your instructions and everything. We've had a few other ones done. If you remember, Anne did the rusty patched bumblebee, and our wonderful Anna did the Raven Petals embroidery kit by Nest Embroidery. Just so exquisite. I brought both those samples. They're in the background right behind me. Let's see if we can see. There's the raven, and there's the little bee. So those are a lot of fun, really cute projects, and lots available, not just the ones that I've shown you here today, but we have a lot of those to select from. So those are the Nest Embroidery, and that's what Anne's been creating. I'm sorry, she's been really, really busy. So I want to show you another one that she has completed. Let's see if I can get a good close-up of this. We might have to do it in two parts. There it is. It says, Hello, Summer. I think that might be a little wishful thinking. Mind you, we had such good weather not long ago that this might be important. This is called Wagon Days of Summer by Patch Abilities. And it says the skill level is easy. Just absolutely gorgeous. I think we have that fence hanger for it as well. But look at how fun that is. Exquisite. All these beautiful stitches. I can't think of someone who does satin stitch better than Miss Anne. It is marvelous. So this one is called Hello Summer. So that is that one. She's also been busy if you're thinking about spring and the garden. This is the Wagon Days of Spring. Let's see if I can get it so that you can see it without it glaring. Wagon Days of Spring. These are about 14 by 17 inches. They are patterns by Patchability, and these are the samples for them. Just so sweet. The robin pulling the worm, the little trowel for doing your gardening, some tulips, they're always the first ones up in my yard, and some beautiful ladybugs. So if you're looking to think about warmer, wonderful weather, think about spring and summer, and think about the Wagon Days. So those are the new patch abilities. We'll get those hung up so that you can see them in the store, and come on in and pick out your pattern that you'd like to do. All right, so that's my show and tell. So you're probably wondering, why are you dressed so warm? So I have my quilted jacket on. This is what started us down the road. I got this quilted jacket, and then Anne said, oh, I have a book. And that book was called Sewing Quilted Patchwork Jackets. And she said, not only do I have this book, which is beautiful, I can run a class. And so she has been very busy over the last year running the Quilted Jacket class. This is her latest creation. I'll just lift the baby up so you can see it. It's beautiful. So it's got collar and sleeves, and it's got a flap. You could probably put a zipper in to close it, and you can make it any length you like. But that is her latest quilted jacket, and we have a class coming up. So I wanted to just tell you a little bit about the Quilted Jacket class. So for this class, it's actually 3 parts. So you'll be coming in Monday, February 2nd, February 9th, and February 23rd. So you have the long weekend in between there, and that's time to get some homework done to make sure you're ready for the next class. And so it goes Monday, 10:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. It's $250 plus tax. It does include the book. It does include your class. and it includes a pattern. This is just a sample of the pattern made up, so you can try them all on and decide which size you want, and then you get a pattern printed for you. And then you can start on your class jacket. Anyways, that I thought was just a really cool thing to do, and especially now that weather's getting colder. Nancy says it's really cold there. She's out in Saskatchewan, so it's a little cold. And but that is for the patchwork jacket class. And I have to tell you, I really like my patchwork jacket. It keeps me nice and warm. So if you're interested in this class, give us a call at my sewing room, 403-252-3711, or you can enroll online. Tyler has this in the calendar, so if you go to our website at my sewing room, you'll see education and community, do the drop down menu, and you will see on the calendar February 2nd the quilted jacket class, and you can enroll there. All right, or you can come and visit, see the jackets, try on some things, look at the book. The book we'll give to you on the first class. And that's kind of all I had to say about this lovely quilted jacket, other than it's very, very warm. I might have to undo it a little because it's getting hot. Anyways, quilted jacket class, something to really fashionable, good for this time of the year, and you can personalize it however you wish. All right, so Glenda says to Nancy, congratulations, Nancy. Nancy told us that her little one was, the grandbaby was born. It's a little girl. And now I've forgotten the name. Nancy, fill me in. Fill me in with the name and weight and things for me, please. That would be really cool. Fill that part in. So while Nancy's telling me all of the good things that I have just forgotten, I would like to tell you a joke while she's doing that. All right. So why did the quilter bring a ladder to the quilt show? To reach new heights in patchwork. Yes, and I think doing a jacket is reaching new heights in patchwork. That's for sure. All right, I'm going to take the jacket off because that is like, whew, really warm under there. All right, now, the other thing I wanted to talk to everybody about today is our return to simpler times. It is another class that we're running, and it's actually going to start in just a week tomorrow, which is the truth because today's Tuesday, Wednesday, so a week tomorrow. And that class is called Return to Simpler Times. It is a block of the month class. It will happen on the last Wednesday of every month. So for January, it is January 28th, Wednesday. It starts at 10:30 in the morning and goes to 12:30 in the afternoon. So during these classes, you're going to make 12 different blocks. So it's like a sampler. Plus you're going to make a 13th block, which is your setting blocks. And then you're going to work on the most gorgeous border. It is Dresden plate, and it looks really cool. The quilt itself ends up to be about 85 inches by 85 inches. Also exciting about this is it can be done in person or virtually. So I have a lot of people coming in person. So far only one virtual, but that's okay. Whichever way you'd like to do the class, we can set it up and go with that. All we need is your email address and we can send out that Zoom link. And there's also going to be a recording of the class, and that's going to be available on our website at mysewingroom.ca. So I had one person had asked a question, how long will those be up? And I honestly don't have an answer, but I'm sure that from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, they will be there for you. I can certainly find out more about that and pass it on, but it'll be very exciting. come on in and play with us. I think it'll be so much fun. Okay, so the class itself is $250. That's paid up front if you do the full year. So that includes all 12 months of class and recordings, plus the 12 blocks, the 13th setting block, and the border information and the border blocks. Okay, so that's that. Now, my beautiful Dawn has been very busy making kits for us. So I wanted to show you the one that we have made that most closely resembles the one of our sample that is in store. So if you really want to see this quilt, you can come into my sewing room and see it. We've got it up for you. It's very lovely. This is the kit that is cut, that is the closest to what's on the wall. But Dawn has said, hey, I can cut other quilt kits. She's giving me a thumbs up. She says, I can do it. You just have to tell me what fabric you want. And she can do it. And so that's really cool. So this kit that we have already curated is $235 plus tax. It gives you all the sample fabrics for those blocks. The one thing that you'd need to add or supplement, of course, is your background fabric. We did not select that for you. That is something that you would have to add. You could do a cream, you can do a white, you can do your favorite light pink, you can do a gray, who knows. Anyways, you do have to have background fabric. That is required is 5.1 meters. And then once you've got your quilt done, of course, you need your backing and your batting. And then you have to quilt it. Woohoo! No problem, right? You say no problem. Okay. Anyways, that, of course, is the one that's already pre-cut. We'll cut them on demand for you. That's the selection. And then Dawn said, oh, you know what? We've got some gorgeous fabrics in the store. So let me see if I can pull some of these over. She said this line of fabric would certainly make a whole different line that would be kind of fun. So let me see how many I can show you at a time. But look at these ones. Aren't these glorious colors? Okay, I guess I can only show maybe a few at a time. But there is the purple section. You're going to need 7 different sets of colors. So there's purple. Here's the pink. Isn't that pretty? Okay, what else did she pick out? She picked out some beautiful blues and green blues for us, the bluey greens, the teals. Aren't those pretty? Yeah. And then she picked out some beautiful yellows. What I like about this is these are refreshing. They're fresh colors. They're very, very pretty. And it's a variety of different lines that we have here at the store. It's not all just from one line, but she's gone and created a really nice bundle. Look at this one with the greeny yellows. Isn't that gorgeous? I love that. Okay, and then she's got a nice, really nice cobalty blue one, which is gorgeous. And I love this line of fabric that she's selected for. Isn't it beautiful? All right, so we have more or less 7 different shades of fabric, and within those 7 you get 3 or 4 or 5 different colors to make up the kit that you're going to use for return to simpler times. All right, I'm going to go back to the front for just a minute because I put these things on top of my keyboard, and I have all sorts of interesting things popping up on my keyboard, so let me just get rid of them. Hope you're not looking at all my funny stuff. Anyways, that is return to simpler times, and it's going to be just so much fun. I think it'll be great, and as I say, it starts in 1 week. So not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday, the 28th, is the first day of class. So if you need help getting your fabrics cut for return to return to simpler times. We're here. We have the cut list. We can help you pick out your fabrics and tell you how much of everything you need. I can also email that list to you if you want to look at your own fabrics at home and decide. All you got to do is enroll in the class. And so to register, of course, you can do it online at mysewingroom.ca. As I said, under that education and community banner, go to the calendar and select January 28th, and you can register there, or call me 403-252-3711 at my sewing room, and we can get your information over the phone using a Visa MasterCard. We'll get you enrolled, and then I can get your email and send you out the information that you need. The other thing you could do is come visit us in person. We'd love to show you the quilt and to help you pick your fabrics. And as I say, I have the list so we can help you with that picking, that selection. All right, one thing that I would say is I don't have a complete supply list yet, but let's think about it. You're going to need a sewing machine with a 1/4-inch piecing foot. You will need a power cord and foot pedal if you're coming into class. You're going to need some a quilting thread, a piecing thread, and of course we recommend Wonderfil's Athena, which is 60 weight. Pick something in the really, not too bold, like the whites, the grays, the beiges, something that won't show through your background fabric. So we need thread. You're going to need scissors. You're going to need your cutting mat. You're going to need your rulers. You need your rotary cutter, and bring your squares, because I'm not sure exactly how big these squares are. 12-inch. So and you may have to square in between. So at least a 12-inch. You could bring some smaller ones as you go to get your block sizes cut for each piece. What else do you need? Well, if you're coming to class, you might want to bring a water glass or something to drink. We have washrooms here. We do have access to water, coffee, tea. What else? Just remember that this is a scent-free location, so please don't wear any perfumes or anything like that. And yeah, just regular sewing notions, right? Scissors, pins, wonder clips, a marking pencil, any of those things. So whatever you would take to make quilt blocks, that's what you want to bring to class. All right, but I will work on seeing if I can get a supply list finished for you, and that would be great. And then you'll be off to the races. So 1 week to go, everybody. Can't wait to get started. So that's fun. So just keep in mind, we have 2 of these are the fun classes, Quilted Jacket and Return to Simpler Times. And they both start within the next week or 2. So now, on Thursday, I will be back to tell you about a couple of another class and some events and some free handout things that we've got going on at my sewing room. So, be a really good reason to stop by the store and visit us. All right, so I just want to remind you too that tomorrow is Quilts from the Heart. That is our volunteer group that comes in and makes quilts for the Luna Project. That's usually run by Nancy and Betty, and we have lots of wonderful volunteers that come to do that. You can come see the quilts. Then, of course, if you'd like to participate, talk to either Nancy or Betty, and they can certainly tell you how to become involved. So Quilts from the Heart is a volunteer group, and of course, everything is done volunteering, so we do accept donations on their behalf, especially cash donations, because then they can purchase batting and threads and things for completing the quilts. So anyways, yes, so Quilts from the Heart is tomorrow, Wednesday the 21st at 10 o'clock. If you're interested, drop in and visit and see how they do. So we do have a couple of social sewings this week as well, on Thursday the 22nd and Friday the 23rd. If you'd like to come in and use our space, which is warm and clean and set up and has irons, and come and play with us for the day, that would be great. It's only $10 plus tax, so think about it. You can register when you get here for Thursday, Friday, or you can do it over the phone. All right. That's super duper. Saturday, we have another group that meets here called Calgary Sews, and it's more about sewing clothing and bags and that types of things. And you're always welcome to come and join them. All right, so just a couple of reminders. I think I had another joke for you if you're ready for my joke. It says, what did the fabric say to the sewing machine needle? You've got me in stitches. All right, everybody. That's probably enough silliness on my behalf for today. Keep in mind those wonderful classes, the Quilted Jacket and Return to Some Simpler Times. Those are starting within the next week and 2 weeks for the Quilted Jacket. Anyways, that's wonderful. Okay, Nancy didn't come back in time. Just trying to remember. I think it was Georgia. The baby's name was Georgia, and I thought the baby was about 8 pounds some ounces. Anyways, I can check on my phone because she sent me a picture with details. So anyways, that is awesome. New ones coming into the world to see us. That is great. Morning, Sandy. Glad you could join us this morning. Sometimes I can't see all my people who have signed in, so I do apologize. That's why I go back at the end of the show, find the comments and list them out for the next show so that I can do those shout outs to the people that I may have missed, either on Facebook or YouTube. Anyways, all right, well, that's my story for today, and I hope you continue to have a wonderful day today. Have a great day Wednesday, and I will be back to see you on Thursday at 10:30 in the morning.